However much you deny an interest in politics, it's simply unavoidable as it does affect every single aspect of our lives, either directly or otherwise. The merger between politics and corporate interests has perhaps been the most damaging aspect of modern society around the world, with financial interests of the few far outweighing the needs of the many. The flow of information has become polluted by increasingly corrupt behavior, with seemingly less transparency and more bureaucracy than ever before. It seems that there have been many elements of society that have been forced to adhere to unjust policies in the effort to gain increasing control over the world and its citizens. Many freedoms have been attacked in the name of progress. Threats are often created with a view to offering solutions, which then relate to the initial will of governments and the corporate sponsors to seize more power and to control all aspects of society. For many decades, this has become increasingly apparent. Although despite measures to control the narrative, increasingly more people are beginning to understand the true intentions of those that are affecting change. We have bore witness to several instances where people have defended their sovereignty, whether that's on a personal basis or as a voting electorate. A couple of examples would be the recent introduction of mixed-sex sports, as well as the threat to women and girls, by allowing males into safe spaces. The second example would be the exit of the EU by Great Britain, commonly known as Brexit. Both examples have quite rightly drawn a lot of attention. The latter was successful, even though the support to stay as a member of the European Union was very great. From a political and business perspective, it was essentially a victory of the people and allowed them to regain their autonomy as a nation. The gender example remains a hotly debated topic, a battle that has been fought vehemently on both sides of the argument. I do believe that, for too long, governments have been subservient to the desires of the few, the desire to eradicate the moral and just fabric of society, breaking the will of the people within that society, and to profit from the new order that they create as a result. Capitalism is no longer a free and fair trade scenario, it is exploitative in the extreme. Similarly, democracy no longer bears the hallmarks of a fair and just system for the individual. Society should protect minorities and people with alternative viewpoints. Instead, it seeks to promote a given narrative and alienates many that are seen as a threat. Whatever you think of Donald Trump, either as a man or as a president, it should be clear that his intention is to redress the balance of inequality and corruption within America. Between his first term and his current one, he has continued to fight against the seemingly unseen forces at play. Conviction by a corrupt and unjust court system, as well as the attempt on his life, actually seemed to further strengthen his support, something that the powers that be didn't account for in their plans to undermine his position. Whilst his intentions haven't been clear, due to obfuscation by the media and politicians aligned with its narrative, taking all elements and talking points within the correct context, he would indeed appear to have a more socially agreeable agenda in mind for the people of America than perhaps previous occupants of the White House had. The only aspect of his nature that does grate on me at times is his seemingly egotistical personality, although perhaps this is probably just raw American patriotism, which perhaps has many sides too. My only disagreement with his, and many other high officials in other countries, is that they use patriotism to push their agendas forward, often with little thought for anyone except themselves. If you were to speak with indigenous populations around the world, and if history was fully accounted for by an unbiased entity, then it would perhaps lead us to a more humble and possibly a more humane society for everyone to share. In the war against propaganda, we must look at many truths in order to seek justice. Any individuals that exhibit the human spirit within their actions should be supported and enabled to cultivate to reach a better understanding across all cultures. I do like that fact that Trump regards negotiation as a means to remove any threat of conflict and as such I do look forward to seeing his actions across the world, striving to make it a safer place for everyone and to help reduce the level of fear across all borders. Perhaps by making America healthier and more sustainable, he can create a blueprint for other nations with similar problems to follow, or at the very least reduce the effect of those powerful men that seek to undermine our species.